There are no traffic jams along the extra mile. That's truly the bottom line of our video today. Go the extra mile. But why are we here today to talk about exceptional customer service? Why? Because all of a sudden, after 36 years of selling a medical service, we find ourselves selling a comprehensive software, our ACE practice management system. And for our administrative team, selling and supporting a software product is different than selling and supporting a service. For instance, when you receive a call from an upset parent about a service that they received from a speech center employee, you send it to the appropriate supervisor. Sometimes you listen when the family launches right into their indignation or vents their frustration, but ultimately, you reassure them that you will connect them with a supervisor as soon as possible. But in the case of licensing ACE to other practices, you might actually be the most qualified person to answer the user's question. And because your time is Speech Center's time, we need to record the Speech Center time that we devote to ACE support. We'll talk more about that later. Now, the other why is a little more complex. Speech Center has always been special because of its people, because of its mission, because of the level of service, because of our compliance, because of our documentation and our documentation systems, because of the way we do things better than any other practice. Simply put, we're the best. We care the most. We serve the most. All of the superlatives apply to Speech Center in our team. Hands down, the best. So really, you may be asking yourself, why would we be sharing part of what makes us the best with someone else? With a close competitor, no less, and possibly other close and direct competitors. If you're a competitive person at all, this leaves you with a bit of a ouch, or maybe it makes you uncomfortable or even resistant to sharing. Yes, all of those things. That's really why we're here. We need to get over our feelings of being in competition with other practices so that we can in fact deliver exceptional customer service. And it's about our own teaming. Our admin team must work together well every single day to be the best professional team. Think about it this way. Just because another practice is using ACE doesn't make them Speech Center. And this new dimension to our practice is simply yet another way that we can exhibit our absolute best status. There are several key components to exceptional customer service, and I thought we could talk about those elements today as we prepare to be the absolute best in a whole new way. Let's start with professionalism. Most of us can easily call to mind vivid examples of unprofessional behavior, from dishonesty to chronic lateness to the latest Facebook post. Defining professionalism is a little tricky though. While there may be no universally accepted definition, most employees and employers would agree on core components. Today we're going to spend a little bit of time on those core components and what it looks like within our team and for our team as we embrace customer service in a whole new way. The first one is especially near and dear to the heart of our company. Without a doubt, it's the most important one. You guessed it, communication. Avoiding comments that make others feel uncomfortable or undervalued is a prerequisite, of course, but true professionals also grasp more subtle aspects of communication. For example, when you provide feedback, are you careful to do it in a way that will be helpful rather than belittling? Do you listen to input from others even when you think you know best? Do you communicate directly with your peers about questions, concerns, or errors before going to a supervisor? Do you ask forgiveness rather than asking permission? Mutual respect is the most basic foundation of communication, and we must always exercise it with each other and with our peers and our customers. It is completely possible to be a clear communicator and be kind. Even when you're trying to communicate something that another team member did incorrectly, let's lift each other up by helping out, providing guidance, and not placing blame or pointing fingers. Our team is all about wanting to be efficient and accurate. Let's help each other and be respectful. The same is true whether you are communicating with coworkers or customers. Listen to hear and understand the communication rather than listening to respond. Provide clear guidance when you are confident in your answers. If you are uncertain about what's being asked of you, ask for clarification. If you are certain about what's being asked of you, restate it for verification. Communication is subject to interpretation by the communicator and by the listener. And the truth is, communication is so much more than what is being said. It's what is said, how it's said, the words that are used, the tone that is used, the volume of the communication, the context, the location and timing. There are countless ways that communication can be misinterpreted. Quite simply, poor and misunderstood communication accounts for the majority of errors, inefficiencies, and conflicts in the workplace. Poor communication leads to low office morale, lack of teamwork, an increase in frustration, hurt feelings, and poor work performance. As you can imagine, this is magnified exponentially when working with a customer, especially a customer that's trying to learn a new technology to complete their daily task. When we receive a call from another practice about ACE, it's highly likely that the caller will be frustrated before they even reach out to us. Here is where we have an opportunity to ease the anxiety of the caller and travel that extra mile. Be kind and courteous in your responses. Be reassuring that we will find an answer to their question. Simply saying, "I'm glad that you called. Let's work through this together so that you can complete your work," will go a long way to easing their frustration and anxiety. If you're not the right person to assist the caller, it's most appropriate to say, "Okay, I'm glad you called. Let me connect you with the right person to provide you with guidance." It would never be appropriate to say, "Well, ACE sometimes goes haywire," or "No, ACE isn't doing what you think it's doing," or "It's probably user error." Let's avoid communication that undermines ACE's integrity, implies user error, or belittles the user or the confidence of the other practice in ACE. You know and we know that ACE isn't perfect, and we know that ACE is dependent on human users to feed it. Humans aren't perfect either, but we've always managed to figure out any glitches or errors and resolve them in a timely manner. Our communication with our customers, whether they are a patient, family, or another practice using ACE, is really what makes us special. And it's what will prompt a customer to leave a positive Google review or talk positively about Speech Center or ACE in our community. We are the ones who can make the difference by communicating clearly and positively, which leads us to another component of professionalism. Consideration. Consideration implies stepping into the shoes of others. And of course, the golden rule, treating others the way that you wish to be treated. Professional, effective communication must take the customer into consideration. For example, what is the customer's point of view, background, mindset, level of understanding or engagement with ACE? Make an attempt to understand your customer as well as their role or purpose in the practice where they work and what they are trying to achieve in ACE. Communicating to fully understand what the customer needs and how you can best help them is the ultimate consideration. Empathize, show interest in the customer. This will stimulate a positive reaction towards you and possibly calm frustrated callers or customers. Accountability is also a facet of professionalism that applies to our Speech Center team, working together collaboratively, all for one, one for all, and providing customer services to others. When you find something wrong that was done by a team member, do you immediately look to place blame? Or do you immediately launch into search and correct mode? Do you feel the need to point it out to a supervisor? We weren't in the business of placing blame, not here at Speech Center, not within our team, and certainly not on a customer. The goal is to work together collaboratively so that Speech Center and our Speech Center team receive the best result. We will all make errors, and we will all find the errors of others. Let's acknowledge them, fix them, and move on. The best result benefits all of us. The old adage, the customer is always right, doesn't exactly ring true, because really it implies that someone else, namely us, is wrong, and that isn't always the case either. As always, communication is the key to accountability, and accountability applies to our customers too. With regard to ACE being used by other practices, we will provide thorough training of the system to both admin and clinical ACE users via live training, 24/7 access to comprehensive video training, and 24/7 access to written task and system manuals. We have an expectation that it will take a bit of time for new users to become proficient in ACE, and we will all show grace as the new practices have questions about certain tasks and processes in ACE. However, as the new practice becomes more familiar with ACE, we have an expectation that they will access the training tools available to them before they reach out to Speech Center staff to provide guidance. Our gentle probing of their research prior to calling us might sound something like this. Wow, I hear your frustration with the referral process in ACE. Let's find an answer that will work for you. Can you tell me what resources you've already used to find the answer? We might also want to ask them to pull up the manual that addresses that section of their concerns and give them direct feedback on that specific task in ACE. If we show them how to use the resources and keep directing them back to the resources available, they will become more familiar with the resources. We will train them to be accountable for their own answers. Further, there is a minimum amount of monthly support included in the software licensing agreement of ACE that provides for 2 hours per month of IT or administrative communication and support. That means that after the first month, we will actually begin billing new practices for the time beyond the 2 hours included in their licensing agreement. Each of us will be responsible for documenting all the time we spent communicating with new practices regarding ACE functions or support. We will learn more about how to record our time spent in the support of new practices using ACE. Approaching others with patience and respect leads to successful collaboration, and that's our goal. Successful collaboration with our own team and with our customers. Choose to be kind to each other, to our customers, and even to yourself. Professionalism is easiest to measure when things aren't going well, when we encounter subpar work, miscommunicate with a coworker, when customers are behaving unprofessionally, or when life is just happening at home, all of which will happen. Life happens to everyone. Under duress, do you treat people with the same respect that you do when everything is sunshine and roses? True professionals aren't necessarily less emotional than other workers, but they are less likely to let those emotions lead to outbursts or other knee-jerk reactions. Be consistent in how you treat others on our team and in how we treat our customers. Try putting a kind, calm smile on your face before answering the phone. It works. Why is customer service important? Customers pay our wages, and they make our jobs possible. Direct customer interaction drives perception of the company. Business analysis shows that you need to actually delight customers, not just satisfy them. How do we do that? And what exactly does a customer want? Everyone likes VIP treatment. No one likes waiting, and equitable service is not important to most customers. Customers derive satisfaction from operating outside of established rules and processes. They want to feel special. When you say, "We don't usually do this, but for you, we're going to make it happen," they feel that they're receiving special care. Or when you say, "Let me let you talk to a supervisor," because only special people get to talk to a supervisor, they feel important. But what is the best way for you to deliver that kind of service? Think back to a good customer service experience that you have had personally. One where you received individual, personalized attention. You were treated as though you were their only client, with the ultimate respect. And in fact, your problem was no problem for them. Recreate this experience for our customers. Use their name and find ways to sincerely compliment them. Customers know when you're trying to snow them. Your words, nonverbal communication, and actions must all match and show that you care about the customer. Think of ways to generate a customer's good feelings about working with you. You do that by showing passion for your job. We started by pointing out that our team and Speech Center are the absolute best. You are a large part of what makes this true, and you feel that pride in being recognized as special. The best, right? Well, the goal is to make our customers, both those of Speech Center and those of ACE, feel that special. Let's own this. Now let's take a brief moment to cover exactly how a user should track any of their time spent in assisting an ACE customer. Anytime you engage in support for an ACE customer, such as phone calls, email support, or in-person assistance, you will need to carefully keep track of your time spent doing so. This time will be documented in the Facilities section of ACE. Navigate to the Facilities section and locate the customer that you will be billing time for in the list below. Click on the name and open the facility record. When the facility record opens, you'll notice that this type of facility has a facility type of ACE customer. This is what allows the program to bill the customer for the services we provide. Continue by clicking the Services Provided tab. Once the tab is opened, you will notice that the user is already pre-filled with your specific name. Therefore, these services will be billed by you for the time you spent supporting the ACE customer. When beginning your data entry, you will notice that ACE pre-fills with today's date. If this is correct, no adjustment is necessary. If you are billing for a different date of service, adjust the date. Next, you will need to indicate the service you provided. As an ACE customer, all service falls into the same category of ACE application support. The user may next enter the time in and time out, which will calculate the total time. The user should next enter detailed notes regarding what type of support was provided and to which specific team member of the customer. Finally, the user may click the Add New button. The action of clicking the Add New button will move the billing entry down to the list of other entries for the month. Should the user desire to adjust a previously entered billing record, they will need to click the row of the billing entry. This action will move the data up to the top portion of the form for adjustment. Once the data has been corrected, the user may click the Update button to update the billing record correctly. Additionally, if the user decides that the record needs to be deleted entirely, the user may click the X button to delete the row. Each and every month, we stress to our clinicians the importance of timely billing. Now it's your turn. Billing should be entered into the ACE system immediately following any support services that are rendered to a customer. We understand that this will be a new routine, but it's critical. Why? As an employee of Speech Center, you are being paid for your services. But failure to bill an ACE customer for services that they received means that Speech Center is paying for those services. That's not okay. Essentially, failure to bill an ACE customer could jeopardize Speech Center's financial future. Really, failure to bill appropriately costs Speech Center money. Please be diligent in keeping up with your billing for ACE customers. Remember, that includes phone calls, emails, IT support, in-person support, just to name a few. Speech Center is appreciative for each and every member of our team. Your dedication to doing a great job is making a difference in the lives of all the patients that we and other practices serve. Thank you for all that you do.